Hi. So last year, my friend's dad took us for a ride on his boat, and sometimes the boat would jump off of a small wave and slam back into the water. It felt like hitting a speed bump at 40 miles an hour, and there are multiple speed bumps in a row and you can't evade them. And that gave me the idea to take a boat, disconnect its deck from its hull, and reconnect them with shock absorbers from my RC car to counteract those water speed bumps, or at least make them a little smoother. But first, I swapped out the stock servo, ESC, and battery for better ones, so I don't have to use this. Then I closed it up, boom, and realized I forgot some screws on the hull. Now, where are the shock absorbers, you ask? Here they are. I glued the short one to the front and the long ones in the back at an angle. Here they are, fully mounted, mostly at the same height. I added these metal pieces to connect to the shocks. Bro. Can you not drive a trumpet, please? I added these metal pieces to connect to the shocks. Here I have it with a deck on. This shock is bolted to one of the metal pieces from earlier. The back is held on by this key for now. And a quick test shows it seems to work. Now it's time to give the boat a cute skirt to keep the water out. I applied 2 layers of duct tape and glued those to the deck with hot glue. The boat is closed now, but I couldn't get the back shocks connected because the skirt is in the way. But the skirt acts as suspension now, so it probably doesn't need the rear shock absorbers. The front one works just as intended. The spring is a bit too hard, but I hope it won't be an issue, because I currently don't have any softer springs. And despite only the skirt holding the 2 halves together, it holds pretty well. Guess it's water time. But before that, let me tell you about today's the suspension test I did. I held the boat at the rear and hit it from the bottom. And it is definitely visible that it works. Both the back and front contract when I hit it. And now, guess it's water time. One last update before I get that thing into the water. I mounted the camera holder and I've added this straw with this rod in there, and I put some markings on that rod, and when it hits some bumps or some waves, hopefully I will see this thing flex and expose these markings, you know? Yeah, so water time. Ooh. But before we go into the wild, I want to do a little bathtub test since this thing has never touched water before. Seems to be a little bit heavy on this side. Should sit like this in the water. One question before testing it. How much water is it now? None. Yay. Cool. That's got some torque. Awesome. And now everything is wet. Coolio. Before doing the test, I was pretty happy with my design here. Afterwards, I wasn't anymore. That's why I redid everything. I built a custom suspension system with some softer springs I've obtained. And I also made a new skirt, this time out of foam board. This one extends the hull upward instead of the deck downward like the one before. And the springs are better suited for the boat. 6 months later. Hi. Let me grab you. Oh wait. That's better. dry in there. Yep, we're leaking. The leak up front. And in the back. No, just up front. Okay. So I glued the front leak shut and tried again. Let's test it again. Okay, there's a leak in the back. That's through the rotor. Everything else is good, it's just back there. Cool. I'll fix that. And then let's see how it goes in the wild. And to get to the wild, I'll take my Beetle, my boat trailer, and the boat, of course. I'll just strap the boat in. And off we go. Really, bro? Leo. I should be barefoot for this. Give me a second. Now let's see if all my work was worth it. Let's increase the speed. Whee! Yo, that's what we want. Awesome, the springs definitely work. And it's clearly visible. That's everything I came here for. I'm stoked to finally see it in action. And to see that it works. Cool. Let's take a little check. See how wet it is on the inside. We're definitely a little bit wet inside. But I guess for our mission, doesn't really matter because we just need a few minutes. Or just a little bit of, you know, swimmeroons. I kind of underestimated on how much fun it would be to drive this little boat around. Pretty fun. Oh, we're losing power. We lost power. My boat died. Cool. Now my pants are wet. Let's take another look. It's not wet in there. Like it's just a little bit wet, and there was barely any. You know, and that is watertight. That is obviously watertight, and I haven't opened that yet, so it should be factory watertight. This one is watertight. I don't care about that one, but that still worked and didn't get flooded or anything. So I don't know what the problem is. The battery is obviously fine. Oh well. And there we have it. A boat with a fully functioning suspension system. So if you have a boat, I'd recommend to put some springs on there to get a smoother ride, since it clearly works. Well, that is everything for today. Thank you so very much for watching, and you'll see me in the next one.